Welcome to Six Rings and Counting. I'm your host, Corey Idle, and joining me as always, we didn't draft Shedeur Sanders either. We got our man sticking around, our veteran quarterback, Mr. Lou Willard. Lou, how are we feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling pretty good after this draft. I mean, this draft is a Pittsburgh Steelers draft. Like, we ran through all of those mocks. Yep. What if they do? What if they do? But then you saw their positions of need. Go look at the draft. They went straight positions of need. Straight down the list.
100%. We are going to break all these guys down for you. Just to give you a quick list, though. Round 1, Derek Harmon, defensive tackle out of Oregon. Round 3, Caleb Johnson, running back out of Iowa. Round 4, Jack Sawyer, edge rusher out of The Ohio State University. Round 5, Yaya Black, defensive tackle out of Iowa. Round 6, Will Howard, quarterback out of The Ohio State University. Round 7, Carson Bruner, linebacker out of Washington. And round 7, Dante Kent, cornerback out of Central Michigan. Lou said it perfectly. If you looked at positions of needs, they got filled.
And the one round you did not mention was round 2. The round 2 pick was DK Metcalf.
Yeah, perfect.
Like, I know people don't put that in this draft, but he's the round 2 pick in this draft. Yep. So that's your draft, and he has to be included in that because that's what you gave up your round 2 pick for. Same with Minkah Fitzpatrick when they did that. Yep. If it works out like Minkah did, it's a great trade and a great pick for your round 2 pick. Who would they have picked in the second round that's going to be better than DK?
Nobody this season.
There you go. It's a nobody knows that question does not have an answer because none of these young men have played yet. Yep. It could be somebody that's going to wind up being the best receiver to ever play, even better than Jerry Rice. Who knows?
But it ain't going to be this season.
The question is, we know what we got with that number 2 pick, and it's DK Metcalf. So this draft they filled every position of need that we had talked about on the show. And like I said on my short, we played around with, okay, let's just say they take Sanders, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And we did the fun show with that. But the thing is, they went straight Pittsburgh and went straight positions of need. Boop, 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 down the line. And they got good football players.
Yeah, I usually when you watch a draft as a fan, you sit back and you say, well, this was my favorite pick. You got value. I think he's a good player. I recognize him from college, whatever it may be. I'm struggling to find my favorite player in these picks because they're all going to be really good. Now, Will Howard, God willing, is not playing quarterback for us this season. He's sitting on the bench with the clipboard. No. We do not see him at all. That is a best case scenario. But all of these guys, even Dante Kent, will play. And will play significant roles. Team. Yeah.
Everybody's making the team that they drafted. And Derek Harmon may start. Jack Sawyer is not going to start because he's not starting over the 2 guys they just paid, Highsmith and Watt. But he's going to be, remember they had to cut Preston Smith because of he was making too much. He was guaranteed too much money. So he replaces him. So your next 2 in the rotation are Harvick and Jack Sawyer now. Where's the problem in that? And Caleb Johnson, this was a brilliant pick. And I talked about this when I did the short. He's 6'1", 224. He's a step faster than Najee. He's a one-cut back. He runs downhill. He runs hard. But damn all that. You got another running back on a rookie deal, and you got him for 4 years on that rookie deal. So they got away without paying a running back again for a comparable running back to what you let go. And he ran the ball in the Big Ten, which is a physical conference.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be just fine in the AFC North. Will Howard is going to be a great number 3 this year. They're bringing in Cousins or they're bringing in Rodgers. Rudolph is the backup. Will Howard is the kid that has to learn. And if he learns, they won't take a quarterback next year. But if they believe in him, I'm sorry, if they believe in him, they won't take a quarterback. If they don't think he can pick it up and be the guy, they'll draft a quarterback next year.
Right.
Skylar Thompson won't be on the roster at the start of the season.
No.
You're not carrying 4 quarterbacks.
No. God, no. Don't do that. Don't be the Browns. That's insane.
They have 5.
Speaking of, I mean, look, the Bengals did okay this season. We're just kind of free falling here going with this. So if you were looking for a little more structure and us going, well, Derek Harmon had 57 tackles, and that ain't going to happen right now. We're all hyped up. We just coming off this draft. We're going to just talk about the draft and how it relates to the Steelers. With that said, Bengals had a decent draft. Ravens, where they pick, it's always going to be mid. Browns were terrible.
I think the Bengals drafted as if they may trade Hendrickson by taking those edge rushers. Edge rusher.
Yep.
The Ravens, I felt, had a really good draft. All they do is, because they're so good in the year, they're always going to draft between 28 and 30, 32. It's usually 38 to 30 because you never know who's making the Super Bowl.
Right.
It seems like they just look at the board and go, who's the best player? Give me him. If they need the position or not, they just draft the best player. And the kids they took are going to play. And I'm going, these some bitches. And they lined up that defense again. They reinforced their defense because they have an ass ton of offense. It's a great draft for the Ravens. That's why I said I love to hate them, because they're our rival. Because that damn organization, top to bottom, and that head coach is just as good as the Steelers. Just as good as the Steelers. It's the same. They're mirror organizations. We do the same thing. Look at our draft. This Derek Harmon kid, like I talked about when I did his short, he playing for something way bigger than football. He got drafted, went to the hospital, told his mom, and she passed away. This kid is playing. He's playing for his mom, who's passed away, unfortunately. And from Six Rings and County to his family, we offer our condolences. I can't imagine what he's going through. I'm blessed to still have my mom. She's fought cancer, and she was able to beat it, and she's able to hold it off to this point. But I can't reach to the depths of what he's going through, because my mom was able to beat it. His mom had the brain surgeries and then the stroke, and it finally got her. So God bless him and wish him the best. But he's playing on a mission. This kid, this is the one draft pick I'm not worried about in any capacity. This is a guy that's going to form foundations for stroke victims, brain surgeries. He's got a whole lot of stuff he's going to do.
Yeah, he's got NFL Man of the Year written all over him.
Written all over him. And that's what I was getting ready to say. Who better to be his mentor than a former NFL Man of the Year in Cam Hayward?
100%.
This kid is a success out the gate. The gate.
He's everything. I mean, I don't know him personally, but everything I've seen about him, he is a good young man. He understands Steeler football, not just football, Steeler football. He plays with that motor.
And when you saw the interviews with him, he stayed at Michigan State to stay close to his mom because she was sick.
Yep.
When the opportunity came for him to go to Oregon and make money, which he uses NIL money to buy her a wheelchair accessible vehicle so she can get around. That's what he spent his money on, was his mom. She said, every decision you made to this point has been about me. Now start making them for you. So that kind of tells me she knew her time was coming. You know, and I'm not here to get all into that, but I'm saying my focus is on this young man. His shit is together. Yep. He's going to be ready to go. And who better to teach him than a former Man of the Year in Cam Hayward, whose dad passed but played in the league.
Yep.
And then Mike Tomlin and this organization headed by the Rooneys. He's in the perfect situation. Perfect situation.
You know, you brought it up as a side note. I used to love Ironhead Hayward. That two-back system New Orleans was running back in the day was everything. I loved it.
And it's funny, we were downtown when we went to dinner Friday night. We had a separate business deal that we were meeting about that I couldn't make. But we ran into some old friends of ours downtown. And the guy's brother was there who used to be the trainer at Pitt.
Yeah.
He used to tape Ironhead Hayward's ankles. He said, "You a football guy? I know you played." I'm like, "Yeah, I played back in the day." He's like, "You know Ironhead Hayward?" I said, "Yeah, and his son Cam." And I never knew Ironhead.
Yeah.
But he said, "Yeah, I just tape his dad's ankles. I was the head trainer at Pitt." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Okay. Yes. So it's a small
that
world,
ankle
man.
Had to be that. You had to use a roll of tape for that one ankle.
That dude was big.
Yeah, he's a big
dude. Could have been a defensive tackle.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a big dude.
He made Christian Okoye look small.
Oh, for real. 100%. Let me ask you about Jack Sawyer. Obviously, anybody that's watched this show before knows we are all in with Ohio State guys. So this might be a bit of a loaded question. I view him on this defense right now. One, Herbig coming off the injury. He's a great backup. Should something occur or the rehab takes a little bit longer for Herbig to get all the way back.
Yeah.
However, I also see Jack Sawyer in this linebacking room as a bit of a utility player. Like if we wanted to switch into a 4-3, he can get on the line. He can be back at that edge rusher as a linebacker. He could move to the middle if you had to have him there for a play or two. Am I wrong in that assessment?
No, he could play linebacker as well. But what he is, this, and I know I'm beating a dead horse because I keep saying it. For a guy that I really don't like, you know, because I'm jealous of his success, Bill Belichick, because he's kept Pittsburgh from 4 more Super Bowls. How many we would have won, I don't know, but I know he's kept us from going to 4. So I don't like the man. Personally, he might be a great guy. But he always said, "Give me football players and I'll figure out where to put them."
Yeah.
My high school coach had told me the same thing. Send me the best 11. They could be the 11 smallest players on the field and we'll beat you because I have football players. That's what Jack Sawyer is. He's just a football player. Nothing flashy. He fits right into Pittsburgh. The flashy players at Pittsburgh do what? They don't last long. And they're usually the receivers who don't last long. Other than that, you get Hines Ward, Ben Roethlisberger, Jermani Dawson, Greg Lloyd. I could run on and go back and bring it back up to more recent times. We don't do flash. It's not going to be. They're the only team. The Pittsburgh Steelers, for those of you who don't know, but if you listen to this show, you know, are the only team in the NFL without cheerleaders. Why? Because we can't find a woman willing to miss the game to go over on the sideline in some skimpy outfit and start cheering.
No.
Our female fans are just as rowdy as the male fans and will punch you in the face just like the male fans will.
What was it? 3 or 4 years ago, we all went to a Monday night game against the Dolphins.
Dolphins.
And a woman almost fought me and another dude we were with.
Ain't that awesome?
Yeah. I looked at her boyfriend, and her boyfriend went like that. Like, she was ready to throw hands with us.
And look, there's a couple stories behind this, too. They should have kicked Armando's ass because he's a Dolphins fan in this trio that you guys don't see. He's a Dolphin fan, so we went to the game. But then, side note, Mindy and I, my wife, Mindy, and another couple go to the game. Well, the wife is a diehard Steelers fan. Her husband, a diehard Patriots fan, because he's from Vermont. He's from up there. And they got Tom Brady, or have Tom Brady at the time. Not got, have. And they're beating Pittsburgh 20-0 in the first quarter. And she goes off on her husband, calling him Fat Brady. F you, Fat Brady. F you, Fat Brady. So we're leaving the stadium, long story short, too late. She done cussed him the whole game because they blow Pittsburgh out.
Yeah.
And somebody says something to him, a Pittsburgh fan says something to him, and she jumped on them. I can cuss him out, but ain't nobody else gonna cuss him out.
Yep.
It was the funniest. Dude, you had to be there. It was the funniest thing. But my point is, Pittsburgh fans are passionate. So they will like this hard-nosed draft. You got football players.
Yep.
I mean, these first three guys, Jack's not going to start. Sawyer's not going to start because he can't, but he's going to play a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Johnson is not going to start, but he's going to play a lot. Derek Harmon's going to start. Ogunjobi left. Harmon's starting. This the kid out of Iowa is going to be coming in to spell Harmon. Going to play a lot. Will Howard is a project. Drafted him knowing that. If he has to play, it means you did not get Rodgers or Cousins. And Mason Rudolph got hurt. Because he's better than Skylar Thompson.
Oh, yeah.
So there's that. But if you bring in Cousins or Rodgers, this kid isn't going to play, which is awesome. He can wait.
Oh, yeah. That's best case scenario.
This linebacker is going to play because he has to. They lost Landon Roberts. So you got to plug him and play him.
Yeah.
He's not going to play a lot. He's not going to have a green dot. But what he's going to do is be able to spell Wilson and give him a blow.
Mm-hmm.
Queen can't come off the field. He has the dot. He can't come off the field. He's a three down. He's a 3-down linebacker.
And we got Peyton Wilson still. So
yeah, and you still have Peyton Wilson. So if he needs a blow, this kid will fill that in. And then the corner, I don't know. He'll work or he won't.
Yeah.
But we have three already. He's the fourth. Will you stick and stay? I think he'll make the team, but I don't know how much time he'll get. But everybody's going to play because they're going to play special teams.
That's what I was going to say.
Which is critical to get some of the starters off of the special teams.
Yep.
Like you've seen the last couple of years, Cam has been out there blocking for field goals at times. When we kick field goals, Cam's been on the field. No, you stick Derek out there now. Let Derek go out there and take that rep.
Or Yaya.
Yeah, it's still a rep, and you're still going to get hit. Give him another second to catch his breath and get some Gatorade. Do 34. Only undefeated person in the history of anything is Father Time.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get Cam as few reps as possible and make the reps that he has count, which means the first 2 or 3 drives of a game. And if you can leave him out the next 2 drives because you built a 10-point lead, leave him over on the sideline.
Yeah.
Bring him back in to end the half and start the third quarter and bring him in the fourth and let him play. He's fresh. Yep. That's what this draft tells me. So 100%. I would give this draft, I don't know what you would grade it. I see the grades that this, whatever they call it, thing has given it. I would give it a solid B, not a B minus, not a B plus, just a B, because you only have one starter, and that's the first round pick. Everybody else is plug and play. Mm-hmm. They're going to, when I say plug and play, it's not the plug and play as starters. It's they're going to play. They're going to make the roster and see time. So I consider that a B draft. If they had, like Atlanta Falcons, I would give their draft an A because they drafted dudes that's going straight into the starting lineup. So therefore, that gets an A from me. Whether they pan out or not, they ain't got nothing to do with me or the Falcons. It's up to the players. But they drafted guys that they needed. They went edge. They had the fewest sacks in the league. Who else you drafted? They went edge in the first round. 2 first-round picks, edge. Those guys are playing. So you get an A for drafting what you need. And the Steelers, they have this is all boiling down to the quarterback. This is all boiling down to the quarterback. because we have the talent now. Your second round pick is DK Metcalf. That doesn't show on this list that I'm looking at,
Right.
but that's who it is. So you got your first round as a starter, your second round as a starter, your third round is going to split reps with Jaylen Warren. Your fourth round is that he's going to play, I would say, not 50% of the game, probably 30% of the game, while TJ plays the other 70.
Yep.
And then your number 5, Yaya, the tackle, is going to play 40% of the game. So your quarterback, we know, is a project. You're not going – this draft is perfect for them. It's perfect for them. But it's still a B draft.
I would push back on the B grade. The way I see it, this is an A. And this is why. I'm going to use your own logic against you.
Okay.
I think comparing them to a team like the Falcons or the Patriots is a little unfair because we didn't need the same amount of starters. Everybody's going to start that those guys drafted because those teams friggin' suck. We don't friggin' suck. We needed to plug some holes. What I think this draft did is Derek Harmon is an immediate starter because that's what we needed. Caleb Johnson is a backup running back to Jaylen Warren because that's what we needed. Jack Sawyer backs up both our edge guys who have injury histories. And he's there for the future. Every pick I see is planning for the future and backing up eventualities of injuries, guys not re-signing, trades, etc. So for me,
makes perfect sense.
Yeah, for me, this was a super intelligent draft by a mid-level team that is expecting, now this is the one caveat, that is expecting a veteran quarterback, not named Mason Rudolph, to start.
There you go.
If one of those guys, if we don't get Cousins, if we don't get Rodgers, then I'm with Lou. This drops to a B because you were wishing and a hoping on a prayer that was not going to happen.
Yeah, and you make a very, very valid point. We drafted the depth that we needed. And that's what it boils down to. And I never considered the fact that Atlanta needed 2 pass rushers. So that's a valid point by you. That's great analysis. That's what makes this the best Pittsburgh show out there, quite frankly.
Hey, I had a great teacher.
you get the best analysis. But that said, these guys will all make the team. And I look at it like Pittsburgh, like when you look at Jack Sawyer, Pittsburgh has locked in their 2 top rushers in big contracts. You have Herbig still on a rookie deal. Now you have Jack Sawyer on a rookie deal for 4 years. Caleb Johnson, you let Najee walk instead of paying him. You bought in a little bit. You bought in Najee again.
Yeah.
Maybe a step faster, but he's a one-cut runner where Najee is dancing a little bit. Too big to be dancing. This kid's a one-cut runner on a rookie contract. So you got him for 4 years. They're talking about the Packers really want George Pickens. Okay, well, if you ain't sending Jordan Love back, you ain't getting George Pickens.
Right.
Which I know sounds ludicrous because it's meant to sound ludicrous because they're not trading Jordan Love.
No.
But the point is, they can keep Pickens this year and then franchise tag him and franchise tag his ass again. I don't care how miserable he is. You're making your money, and it's guaranteed money when they put that tag on you.
Yeah.
So act right, and they'll sign you to an extension to where you're not tagged. So they're putting the ball in his court. And when you roll out here, if you can get a Kirk Cousins and he's throwing the Pickens, DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin, and Freiermuth, and turning around and handing the ball to Jaylen Warren and this big son bitch right here, 6'1", 224, that's a formidable offense.
Yeah.
Arthur Smith just has to turn them loose.
That's it.
So what are we going to do? Because the Ravens, it looks like the Ravens drafted knowing the Steelers are getting Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
They went defense.
Same thing with the Bengals. Yep.
They reviewed those defenses. Well, if you're the Bengals, why would you draft anything else other than defense? Because you're scoring 34.
That's a fair point.
If you keep a team to 29, you win because you're scoring 30 plus. Yep. They shouldn't draft anything else. But I'm telling you, the Ravens drafted as if they know the Steelers are getting Aaron Rodgers. They just solidified that defense, and some bitches picked up another good offensive lineman. They're just a good organization, like the Steelers are. You got to give credit what credit's due. Then you go to.
I'm sorry to cut you off. We got 1 minute left here.
Oh, okay.
In the show.
Okay.
We can come back. We'll definitely be getting into more offseason, but I got to ask you, because this is the most important thing about a fan base watching the draft to me. After this draft, how hyped are you for this upcoming season?
I don't know, because we don't have a quarterback.
Yep.
I know that's not answering your question. That's the easy way out, the scapegoat way out. But my answer is we're still in the air. Are we going in with Mason Rudolph? And if he gets hurt, Will Howard? Will Howard's not ready yet.
No.
Will Howard's a kid that I didn't believe was ready when he got to Ohio State. And he said, oh, I heard Lou Willard said I wasn't ready. Playoffs come, watch this. And I said, okay. And I told my wife, I said I was wrong about that kid. And that's part of putting yourself out here like we do. Admit when you're right, admit when you're wrong. I was wrong about him. So now I have hope for him in the NFL. But when you ask me how hyped I am, I still don't know. Ask me Tuesday, because today we're signing undrafted free agents.
Yep.
Tomorrow we're locking in those contracts. Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll get Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins. And then I'll be able to tell you how I have them about this draft. If we don't, we go on Mason Rudolph. Here comes 10-7, 9-8 in a first round loss.
We'll be back here again with pick 21, talking about how great our draft was. And
talking about how we need to trade the entire draft to pick up Arch Manning. And then it'll be a race thing. Who didn't pick up Shador? Because they're racist. I know their head coach is black, but they're still a racist organization. Get out of here with that, y'all. That's a whole nother show, which I may do a short on that, but that's a whole nother show. Tired of that shit.
No, look, this was all my fault. I gave you 1 minute. I should have known to give you 5.
And I took 3.
I gotta respect, as an author, I gotta respect the long-winded rant. For the guy that can't say 5 words when 10 will work perfectly, that's Mr. Lou Willard. I'm Corey Idle. This is Six Rings and Counting. We will catch you guys on the flip side.